So the itinerary for the 2026 Women's T20 World Cup is out, and we are back to that hypocritical tagline of BCCI, which says we won't play Pakistan, but we will be forced to play Pakistan because of ICC. Now I'll tell you why it is hypocritical. Yes, the 2025 ODI World Cup for women is going to be played in India in October, and India is going to play Pakistan. But there they can have technically an escape route to saying that that format will be a league format where every team has to play the rest of the 7 teams in the competition, because that is the format. So in that with that logic, the India or BCCI can claim we can't avoid playing Pakistan because Pakistan is also an entrant, so we are forced to play. Fair enough. But 2026 Women's T20 World Cup is not going to follow the league format like the ODI World Cup. It will have 12 teams, that is 2 more than the 10 that were there in the 2024 T20 World Cup in Dubai. So the 12 teams will be divided into 2 distinct groups of Group 1 having 6 teams and Group 2 having 6 teams. And look at the coincidence, look at how accidentally India and Pakistan once again find themselves in the same group, that is Group 1. So there are 6 teams, so there will be India, Australia, South Africa and Pakistan, and then 2 qualifiers which will be decided in the coming months. Whereas Group 2, which could easily have had either India or Pakistan, even with a random draw of lots or by groupings, doesn't have either India or Pakistan. They have defending champion New Zealand, England, West Indies, Sri Lanka, and 2 qualifiers which will be decided in the coming months. So it's such a coincidence, isn't it, that there will be 2 groups, but both India and Pakistan always find themselves in that one particular group. It doesn't matter how many groups are there, even if there is 2 groups or 4 groups in every ICC competition or in every format, in every championship across all genders over the years, since the time India and Pakistan have been having conflict or no conflict, always India and Pakistan almost by default get to be in the same group, and they get to play at least one match assured before the knockout stage. Now what does it tell you? It only tells you hypocrisy, because BCCI in one hand is wearing a mask of patriotism and nationalism, at the same time hiding another jersey which tells you that revenue is what it bothers about. So now this conflicting mask and jersey that BCCI wears has been going on for years, but nobody is shouting it out, nobody is calling it out, because it suits everybody. Because the more there will be India-Pakistan games, being the arch rivals, being the conflict there, being the surcharge atmosphere in which they are operating, it will generate more revenue, it will generate more eyeballs, it will generate more advertisement, more sponsors will come in, the broadcasters will have their coffers full, then they will be able to bid more and more for the ICC events, and then they will pay more to ICC, then the ICC coffers will be full, and then part of that will go back to the member countries, that includes India also. So everybody will be happy, everybody's coffers are full, so everybody is comfortable with that kind of a hypocritical line where we will say Pakistan is our enemy state, we don't want to play, we will not play them in a bilateral series, but we will continue to play with ICC mandatory events in a manner which we can easily question, and we can avoid playing them, because once we ask that question about how merit based or how transparent this randomization is or the draw of lots is, it will come to an end, because it can't continue like that forever. If you want to know how it can be done, let us go to football for an example which is right in front of. US and Iran have been having such conflicting relationship for decades. But how many times we find US and Iran in the same group in a FIFA World Cup? It hardly happens. And if it will ever happen, then it will be because of clear, transparent, merit-based draw of lots out of a complete mathematical chance, not because of any design. Let us also go back to the European club competition, that is the Champions League. Now for last 2 to 3 years, Russia and Ukraine are at war. So in spite of all the algorithm and the computer programs and also the people's involvement to ensure that the proper draw of lots happen during the Champions League inaugural or the draw of lots, there is a clear mandate that is given to keep the teams from Russia and Ukraine separate at the league stage from being clubbed in the same group. And look at how smoothly it has been happening without any question being raised or without any hanky-panky being there. So yes, Russian and Ukraine teams are avoided at the group stage to be placed in the same group, and only when they go to the knockout stage, if and at all they go, then there can be a possibility of they playing at some stage, but not at the group stage. So it is so easy and so simple, and mathematically it is also logical. But BCCI has decided not to question it, not because it doesn't know how to question it, but it suits itself and it suits ICC and it suits everybody, and that's why I call it as hypocritical. And my guess and my fear is that it will continue till the time there is a conflict between India and Pakistan, and this is the way India will continue to play Pakistan, and there will be no question asked under the technicalities of this ICC mandated event. Now let's leave aside that hypocrisy and politics. Let's concentrate on the T20 World Cup for the women's in 2026 and the details. Yes, the details are out. 12th of June will be the first game that will be played between England and Sri Lanka at Edgbaston. On 13th, defending champion New Zealand will be starting their campaign. They will play against their semi-finalist opponent from 2024, that is West Indies, at Southampton. On the same day, at Manchester, Australia will start their campaign against last year's finalist South Africa. And on June 14th, India will start their campaign against arch rivals Pakistan. So the games will be on round robin based among the two league teams or the group teams with 6 teams each. So there will be total 33 games, and the 2 top teams from each group will qualify for the semi-final. The semi-finals will be on 30th of June and 2nd of July, and the final will be on 5th of July at Lord's. There will be 7 venues where the games will be played in England, and those venues are Oval, the Lord's, then Headingley, Old Trafford, Bristol, and Edgbaston and Southampton. So there will be 7 venues, and the final will be at the Lord's. So a cracker of an event is expected, and we hope to see a fantastic competition and a great champion, just like how New Zealand turned out to be a deserving final winner last time. Australia would like to settle the score this time. England would be playing at home. They would like to be a clement, and so would be India, because India's time and turn has to come at some point, and India has been on and off in the global events in the women's cricket. So maybe this is that format where India would finally break the jinx and win. So let's hope the best for India too. So a great competition is coming up. All the best to all the teams, especially India. Thank you.